Hi there, it's Anthony. And you know what? I think it's time for another reaction to, what's the show called? Dexter. So this is season 2, episode 4, See-Through. And I would imagine, given how much we've been getting, into Dexter's mental state and whatnot, that's always been kind of, the core of this series. Maybe this is an episode where, like, Dexter starts to become in some way transparent to other people and whatnot, in a way that he's kind of been transparent to us as an audience, since it's called See-Through. I'm guessing that's going to be my guess. I really don't know, though. You never know what to expect with this show, man. It's already started us off pretty crazy this season. I can't wait to see what's about to happen with Rita, and I forget what the other lady's name was. I want to say it was Lila, but I'm not sure, so I might be wrong, but I guess I'm about to find out for sure. But at the end of last episode, Rita was looking pretty mad when she found out that she is Dexter's sponsor. So, yeah. Can't wait to see what this is going to be about. I'm sure it's going to be a great episode, so let's go ahead and get into it. Dexter, Season 2, Episode 4, See-Through.
I also know denial is the first stage of the grieving process for those who learn they're going to die.
Really, like I can see what this is called, See-Through. I mean, it might be gonna come up more specifically later, but so far he's just being very, all his emotions are showing on his face. Everything that he's thinking this episode has been clearly displayed on his face.
Don't make me do it, Curtis!
He tried to do that quick draw, but Doke's a little bit quicker. That might have been my favorite Doke scene of this show so far.
This is the last time.
Wait.
Bertrand.
Are you serious?
Come on, Max. Bay Harbor Butcher used him to weigh his bags down. We're assuming he picked him up or he docked
So
his
that's
boat.
what he was missing.
Same time, I suddenly find myself weighing the benefits of electrocution versus lethal injection. But here I am.
Wow, okay. I thought this was an awesome episode. It felt like this one was more balanced story-wise than the other episodes in the season. Not necessarily saying that's better or worse, but so far it felt like this season we've been getting mainly the spotlight on Dexter and everything that he's going through, and his psyche, his storyline, if you will. That's been the main focus of the season. And I think I even mentioned in the last episode how I was kind of feeling a little underwhelmed by a lot of the side plots that have been going on so far. Well, I feel like this episode kind of let the Dexter storyline, while it's obviously still in the forefront, take a little bit of a step back and allow the other characters to shine as well. So for one thing, first thing that comes to my mind is Doke's, his special ops thing. First of all, I just thought it was really cool that they brought that back up, because they did have that one in season 1 where that guy that Doke shot, it just kind of got wrote off as a special ops thing that they were covering up, and it ended up seeming like it was more so a story for Angel to deal with, the conflict he was going through in that episode. And I was kind of thinking, I wonder if there's anything more to that, to Dokes and special ops and all that, and if that's ever going to mean anything again, or if that literally is just, that's how they're just going to wrap that up, which felt a little weird to me. So I'm glad that we're at least getting to hear a little bit more now about, Doke's time in special ops, or at least what we can know about his time in special ops, since it's so secretive. We at least know, we're getting an idea of what it did to him as a person. We're getting to know that much, and we're getting an idea of what it's doing to the other people that were in it as well, because that guy, whatever his name was, he was talking about how, he had all these different urges, and, all the stuff that he was going through that he assumed Dokes was going through as well, and how it ultimately led to him killing his wife on accident, despite the fact that it was really precise. So that was really interesting to me. Dokes had that showdown with him where, first of all, I thought the acting there was amazing, the writing there was amazing, and it was just such a powerful scene, and it really makes you wonder, about Dokes as a character, because he said how he had the urge to shoot his wife as well, and that's why he left her, because he was trying to avoid that. And so now you think about, okay, this whole series, Dokes has been the main person that has been kind of tuned in that Dexter was a little off. You know what I mean? So you start to wonder, is it a takes one to know one kind of situation? What kind of monsters is Dokes hiding under his bed or in his closet, or however you would say that? Like, it's just really interesting to me that he said that. So I'm wondering if we're going to go anywhere with that and find out maybe some darker secrets about Dokes, whether it's something he's done or just, other thoughts or desires that he has had. Because he definitely seemed to recognize it in Dexter. But Dokes obviously deals with it in a very different way. And, he preemptively left before he did anything. And he doesn't allow other people to get away with it. Because he, went out and met with that guy and tried to arrest him. And wasn't going to just let him go off to Cuba. And he's been trying to get Dexter as well. So yeah, Dokes, awesome storyline. Next up, let's talk about Pascal and LaGuerta. So I was saying how that Pascal storyline was just getting kind of boring to me, kind of stale. How like it just felt like, why do we care about this? Like, I get it, she's going through things in her personal life, but why do we care about this? Are we supposed to be looking at this from the angle of LaGuerta dealing with being demoted? Like, why should we care about what Pascal is going through? Because her character has not been given that much, of a character for us to care about. This episode brought that to a whole new light, basically. I'm honestly mad that I didn't see that coming. It's like the brother thing with Dexter and the ice truck killer. I don't know how I didn't see that coming. So it's like this, I'm like, oh man, now it makes sense why, we kept on seeing all this about Pascal and why LaGuerta was standing up for her and everything that they've been setting up. It led to this, and I felt like it was kind of worth it. I mean, like, even though in these previous few episodes it kind of felt a little boring in a way, like, why do we care about what's going on with Pascal? Is this going somewhere? Yes, it was going somewhere. So that tells us a lot about LaGuerta, I feel like, this was her plan for real, to sabotage Pascal like that by, I guess enabling her husband to cheat on her, or however you would phrase that. There's blame on both sides for sure. However you would phrase that, so that then Pascal would start going crazy and get, paranoid and whatnot and act unprofessional. It's very interesting. And I wonder when she set that off. Like, did she notice that Pascal would have a tendency to do that? Like, when did this get set off, I wonder? I guess that'll get clarified more in the series moving forward, or maybe I could just go back and see, if they give hints as to when this really started, that plan. But yeah, that's crazy too. So that just made that story a lot more interesting. I do think it was pretty messed up what the captain said about Pascal, though, setting women back 20 years. Like I said, he's the only one setting women back 20 years if he's saying that she was acting like that just because she's a woman. Because if she wasn't a woman, he wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't say, if a man was doing all that and was getting upset about things from his personal life and was letting it take over his job, he wouldn't say it was because it was a man. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing, I guess. Angel always is good at just having these stories that are somewhat separate in a way from everything going on. Like, when I say separate, not just like about what they're about plot wise, they just tend to have a bit of a different feel to them. Like, in some ways, Angel's storylines oftentimes end up being the heart of the show. Sometimes it feels like they bring this sort of, this innocence to them in a way, this genuineness, if that makes sense, or if that's even a word. Angel is just a very genuine guy, and you can tell he always just wants to do the right thing, and his storylines tend to reflect that. And I felt like this episode, we got, Angel got a little bit ahead of himself. He got a little overwhelmed, and he let it out on that lady, and then he went to apologize to her, and it ended up actually leading to, her helping him and whatnot. And it kind of led to the breeze finally coming through that had been looming the entire episode, that heat wave and whatnot. When you think about it, that kind of applies to all the characters, because at the start of the episode, they were all in, at least in different spaces than they were at the end. Because, like, Dexter was stressed out, And he was still stressed out at the end, but for a bit there, he wasn't stressed out towards the end because he thought he was getting away. You know, Deb was pretty stressed out, but now she's starting to date the other dude. LaGuerta, by the end of the episode, is getting back in her position. So maybe you could see that breeze as kind of symbolic of them getting a little bit ahead. Like, it feels like the characters are taking a little step forward, even though I'm sure they're all about to be taking 2 to 3 steps back again. Dexter already has, for instance. But yeah, so that breeze was cool. And Angel's overall thing this episode was a nice little story to pepper in there amongst everything else that was going on. Wow, I'm listing all these out. I'm like, they really had a lot going on this episode. Deb also had her thing, you know, with the guy at the gym. It's pretty interesting seeing her handcuff him. It's like, I like that they're still showing the effects of last season on her. She's not just getting off easy with that, and they kind of let it manifest in different ways. Like, it's not just, at first it was, you know, her being violent against people really quickly, and I think I even said I didn't want to just see that keep on happening, like, oh, Deb punched this guy, now she just put a gun on this guy. I was like, I want to see it kind of evolve past that, and it looks like it is now. Like, we're seeing it manifest in other ways, not just in, you know, how she approaches people maybe more violently or whatnot, but even in her personal life when it comes to like sex and things like that, like, and just dating. We're seeing how it's affecting her and making her a lot more insecure and precautious to the point where she's handcuffing people to the bed before she's intimate with them. So, yeah, that was just a really interesting thing to see right there. And we can see she definitely seems to have a little PTSD still from that experience. And, of course, why wouldn't she? I'm kind of mad with Dexter for, you know, still sticking with Lila after she just kissed him. So that tells you, I mean, is nothing ambiguous there. He knows that, you know, she's interested in him beyond just being a sponsor. And yet he's still sticking with her and sticking with Rita and not mentioning that part to Rita. Like, he's mentioning other stuff, but I'm sure he's not about to tell her about the fact that she kissed him. So that makes it look pretty shady on Dexter's part. I mean, I understand, though, you know, like, that he feels like she can see him and she isn't gonna hate him if she found out his truth, whereas, you know, at the beginning of the episode, Rita was like, I hope they find him and I hope they hurt him. So, you know, I can imagine how in Dexter's mind now they're setting it up to where Rita is in a really bad light and Lila looks like, you know, this amazing person. As an audience member, I'm not sure I see it that way just yet. I don't know Lila like that. I don't know what all she's got going on. You know, I've really grown to like Rita. Not even grown to like her. I've liked her the whole time. I've been saying from the start I really like Dexter and Rita's relationship, and I've been happy that they've been able to, for the most part, go without any conflict, any big arguments. Anything that comes up, they work through it. And I felt like that's kind of just been refreshing to see on a television show. But I know that can't last forever, and it looks like this Lila thing is really about to throw a wrench in things. So I'm like, either leave Rita, go with Lila, or leave Lila, stick with Rita. Right now, I prefer Rita. Maybe over time, Lila will grow on me more, and I'll be like, okay. But whatever you do, Dexter, stop. Like, you can't juggle both, okay? That's not fair to Rita at all. And does Lila know about Rita? I don't know, but she probably doesn't care either way. So, but it's really not fair to Rita, and, you know, I do not want Rita to be hurt like that. And Dexter tried to cover his tracks. You know, I guess that's, you know, in a way part of Harry's code. You know, it's very based on, you know, not getting caught and lying and everything. So, I mean, I guess you can't be surprised that Dexter would sneak in and try to, you know, erase evidence, but it didn't really work because they still got the rocks, and that seemed to really freak Dexter out too. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see where that's gonna go, and see if they're gonna be able to trace that back to Dexter's boat or whatnot and his bay. So I guess that pretty much wraps up everything I have to say about this episode. I really enjoyed it. I appreciated what all the other episodes this season have been doing too. But it was nice to kind of have an episode where we got to see a little bit more effort and light and shine given to the stories of these other characters, because it felt like so far this season we've really been pinpointed in on Dexter, and some of the other characters have been, you know, not been getting as much shine. So this was a fun episode. Looking forward to what's coming next. But until then, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about the episode. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And be sure to head on over to my Patreon if you want to see the full reactions to these videos. Right now I'm only uploading the reviews on YouTube. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. Later. What is wrong with me?